Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm reviewing the roguelike adventure game Dead Cells, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. In Dead Cells, 1 to 4 players move as a group through different biomes and covering battles and bonuses, trying to advance through 2 different biome stages in a given run and eventually reach the final boss and hopefully defeat them. Each player controls a unique character who can get upgraded during the course of a run and also unlock equipment cards to boost their abilities, playing cards from their hand and resolving quick combat in 3 rounds to see who survives and who dies. And in between runs, they'll unlock permanent upgrades that'll make the next run even easier and make their characters even more powerful. So let's get the 5 key things to know about Dead Cells. So first, my number 5, which is unfortunately a full-on con for my taste, is the rules clarity and some errata in the game. So Dead Cells is, at its heart, a very straightforward game, and the rules are also pretty straightforward, but unfortunately they do leave out a good number of details, many of which are only mentioned at all on quick reference guides, but they don't always clarify things well. And there's also some small errata and mistakes on cards and the board, nothing earth-shattering. Now, to the publisher's credit, they have been pretty active in the forums. They have already created an FAQ, and I think they're continuing to answer questions. But yeah, this is just, unfortunately, a little bit harder to get into and play correctly than it should be for such a straightforward game system. For my number 4 point, I'm focusing on the biome exploration, and this is a full pro for my taste. A big part of the vision of Dead Cells is that it is supposed to be like a roguelike video game where you can go through runs very quickly and then reset up everything and play again. And first of all, the biomes are super quick to put together. It takes almost no time at all. You will have varied encounters based on where things end up and varied routes to follow. And as you unlock new biomes, they have unique and different aspects and rules to change things up, but it all takes almost no time at all, which is what the game needs because, again, you want to be able to move through these stages quickly and get to the next one. My number 3 point is also a pro for my taste, and that is the leveling and upgrading your characters do mid-run. So one of the big ones is you'll be gaining these different little scroll upgrades, and they'll give you extra life, they'll give you special powers you can trigger, free damage, and other special abilities, and these can be incredibly powerful, and they tend to combo well with each other for a given character. And when you add in the equipment cards, which get better and better as you do more runs and unlock stronger equipment, all this is just a lot of fun, run after run, to see your characters leveling up and becoming super powerful. Although I will note the caveat that sometimes getting the right equipment from the deck, getting things that go together well, is up to chance somewhat. That's a pretty key characteristic of roguelikes, that sometimes your build works and sometimes it doesn't, so that's something to be aware of. My number 2 is also a pro, and that's the permanent upgrading, which is in some ways the most exciting part of the game, because as you do run after run, you get these cells to spend, you'll be unlocking runes that give you more exploration options, you'll be unlocking permanent bonuses that make you stronger on runs so you can progress farther, you'll get unique blueprints to make the equipment stronger character cards for your deck. Just everything can become stronger and better. The game also has culling, so you can get rid of the weaker stuff and see the better stuff more often. Though just a quick caveat here, as you get deeper and deeper into the campaign and into the runs, things will become more expensive, your progress will slow down a bit, so at some point this can start to feel like grinding if you really want to unlock everything. Might not be fun for every gamer. And finally, my number 1 point, the thing you'll spend your most time doing in the game, is the combat, and this is a bit of a mix for my taste. So first of all, the big thing to be aware of about combat is that, like the exploration, they want it to be incredibly fast, and I think they achieve that. Each player will play a card, or depending on player count, some players will play more than one, but you'll have 3 cards, and you just go around resolving their round 1 effects, their round 2 effects, their round 3 effects. So after you've chosen which card to play, there isn't a ton of thought involved besides choosing where things get targeted. So it keeps you moving, it keeps you upgrading, it keeps you getting through runs. And as you get cooler items, as you get cooler powers, you'll have more options, you'll have more combos to build, so I do think it can be exciting, but again, some players are going to find it kind of random and limiting and just too short to be really interesting to them. I'll also note that player count might be an issue. With solo, you have your character playing 2 cards each time, then you have this sword called Serenade playing 1 card randomly. It works fine, but I found it not as dynamic and exciting as my 3-player games. And then in 4-player, while you have 3 players actually participating in the battle, a 4th player just kind of sits it out. Now, again, not a huge deal because the entire battle takes like 2 minutes, but I do think 4th player is probably the most problematic player count to play it at. Just something to be aware of. So overall, I can recommend Dead Cells strongly if you like the feeling of progression through a campaign, unlocking things, kind of the excitement that comes with that. It's pretty great here. And also, if you're looking for a game that can give you a lot of bang for your buck in 30-minute sessions, you can just sit down and play through a run pretty quickly, have a fun time. But on the other hand, if you're looking for a deeper experience, more tactical combat, a lot here is about quickness and randomness and not as much about deep thinking. And also, as I noted in the review, eventually you might get to the point of the game feeling like a grind, so if that doesn't sound fun to you, might be one to avoid. But if you want to see the game in action and decide for yourself, I have both my old preview playthrough and a more recent playthrough of the game. You can check it out. Good gaming, everyone, and I'll see you at the next stop.